Welcome back, guys. This is Automotive Anonymous, and that's the 2024 Subaru Outback Onyx. It's a pretty cool car. In fact, it's one of the best new cars you can buy, while simultaneously having its own fair share of problems and design issues that I wish Subaru would have done differently. And today I get to show you all of it. So I'm going to do a walk around, go through the specs, initial driving impressions, and then 0 to 60 with a GPS before my final thoughts to help you decide what do you do with the Subaru Outback Onyx. Big thanks to the Twin Falls Subaru for letting me borrow theirs for the day, and let's dive right in with this review. This one is obviously the color white, although Subaru likes to call it crystal white pearl. All I know is between the glistening metal flake in the paint, the black wheels and accents because it's an Onyx edition, I think it looks like the Subaru Stormtrooper edition if you appreciate Star Wars. These are really popular though. They're built in Lafayette, Indiana, so if you're in North America, they're homegrown. And then Subaru sells 140 to 180,000 of these every single year. It's still based off of the Legacy sedan, so the front half of the vehicle should look awfully familiar, although the Outback outsells the Legacy, sometimes 4 to 5 to 1 every single model year. Because America likes crossovers, they like bigger vehicles, and sedans have become less popular in recent years. It's kind of hard to believe, but the Subaru Outback first came out in 1995 with the first generation. So this 2024 model year is actually the 6th generation, and it's the 5th model year of the 6th generation. It's hard to believe that this body style is already 5 years old, but if you're new to the Outback platform, you should probably know of the updates it's had since then. The biggest one was last year for 2023. Subaru, which is a company mostly known for practicality, capability, and boring but usable design language, they gave us a non-functional piece of cladding which doesn't have real aerodynamics. I don't know why they would put that if they're not going to do it right. I suggest you get an X-Acto knife and cut that out yourself. The other update for last year, at least the biggest one, was the 11.6-inch touchscreen received better software, so it is a better head unit than what the Subarus previous to 2023 had. And then for 2024 like this, the Onyx XT, and the Wilderness now have the power moonroof, the heated steering wheel, and the Harman Kardon speakers as standard. But what came standard with that is about a $3,000 price increase. Don't get me wrong, those features are great, but I think a lot of people want the black wheels, the black trim pieces, in the StarTech seats without having to commit to the other higher end features. So I hope Subaru goes back on that decision, and future model years, it gives you a choice to whether you want that as a package or not, rather than standard equipment. I honestly really appreciate that Subaru basically has an Outback for most people's budgets. When you're looking at a vehicle like this, there's 9 trim levels, and a base actually starts at $29,000 before destination. And with that price, you get a lot of stuff. I reviewed a 2023 if you're interested in checking out what they currently offer for that base price. And then an Onyx like this is the 3rd of the 9 trim levels, and the Onyx actually came out for the first time last year. Before, there was only the Onyx XT, which has a few upgrades such as the front camera and the turbo. So just getting a base Onyx like this, which is now $36,000 because of all those extra features, and then if you're wondering as you see the inside in just a few moments, this one is basically standard. All it has is the privacy shade and all-weather mats, meaning it's about $37,000. It's a pretty good price point for that, I would say, for all the upper end features you get, because that's still over $10,000 less than the average new car. The way this one's configured, it weighs a little bit under 3,900 pounds, and then has a max payload capacity of about 900 pounds. So you can carry 900 pounds worth of people or stuff in this specific Outback, so choose wisely who or what you're going to bring with you. Otherwise, the way that this one sits with the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder boxer, it can tow 2,700 pounds if it has a trailer hitch. If you have a turbo model like an Onyx XT or any of the other XTs, you can actually tow up to 3,500 pounds. And then this is about 16 feet long. The wheelbase is about 9 feet, so it's pretty planted on the road. Roughly 6 feet wide and 5.5 feet tall. It can do a full circle in 36 feet, which is pretty impressive. And then it has a CVT automatic and Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, which kicks butt in the winter or inclement weather. Last things to mention on here is when the vehicle is locked, so is the electronic locking gas door. So no one can be siphoning your gas, but when you unlock the gas door, it's easy to open, easy to use. This has a Yokohama all-season tire. It's a 225/60/18 with the black wheels and a full-size spare in the back, which I really appreciate. And then you can leave the proximity key in your pocket, which does have lock and lock, power liftgate, and panic button, because you have the proximity features here to lock and unlock the vehicle. The door panel honestly looks really good. There's a lot of higher end soft touch materials and they contrast pretty well. You of course have Hobby Lobby green stitching, and then piano black around the handle, really soft armrest and door card. You could probably fit about 9 fingers in that handle. And then buttons, controls, Harman Kardon speakers, bottle holder, some snacks. I just wish that they'd extend that further. Medium-sized Subaru on the door sill. And then the all-weather mats are not yet installed, but you have rubberized pedals and dead pedal, the hood release, the fuse box, extra options, more stitching, which really accents the interior nicely, the lighting stock, the trip reset, ventilation, and then your 10-way power adjusted heated StarTech seats with the power moonroof up top. Sitting inside the regular Onyx is honestly a really nice place to be. It's really comfortable, very spacious, and easy to find a nice position with the 10-way power seats. Very comfortable armrests. The green stitching looks great throughout. The heated leather-wrapped wheel has a nice touch, and the horn sounds pretty good. But we're gonna fire it up with the push button start. The needles dance, the Subaru emblem appears, and then here are the headlights. They're steering responsive, so they do a theatrical dance of their own. Otherwise, you have paddle shifters on the back of the wheel for the 8-speed simulated gears, and then the toggle switch right here with the voice and volume controls. So this is what it shows on the center infotainment screen. And then the right side is for the adaptive cruise settings, but if you don't want to use the Gen 3 eyesight system and just want traditional cruise control, push the cruise button, hold the top left button, you'll hear the beep, and now it's not going to be using the cameras for that system. Otherwise, here's the 11.6-inch screen, which, as I mentioned, the software has been updated from last year. Works a little bit better. You don't have to go to a second sub-menu for the heated seats. You do still have to turn off auto start stop every time. And then it's fairly responsive. It does an okay job. Traction control, you can also turn off the screen if you want there. The rear view mirror, the rear view camera does a pretty good job. Trajectory lines do move, but it's a bit grainy. It's not the best rear view camera I've ever seen. And then this one does not have the front camera because that's for the Onyx XT and higher trim levels. You do have electronic parking brake, USB, USB-C, aux, and some storage down here. Some cup holders. And then your 2-stage center armrest, which is pretty convenient, pretty handy, with the 12-volt down there. Otherwise, up top, you have your garage door openers, all 3 of them. You have the button for your power mirrors to dim the side and the rear view mirror. And then you have your compass at the top right corner. You have your sunglass holder, you have some LED lighting, and then you have your power moonroof, which is a little bit on the small side for this vehicle size, but that's because it comes from the Subaru Legacy. It doesn't come from its own bigger crossover design. Then you have a manual sunshade up top. Let's turn it off, let's hop in the back, and let's see how we fit behind ourselves. The rear door panel follows the same theme. You have all the same contrasting colors and same type of materials. They look really good. Nice big arm rest, it's soft touch, it's comfortable, a named Harman Kardon speaker, bottle holder, and a small snack pocket. A little bit of grip right there in case you have to get up to the roof rails that are built in on this one. And then this is the 40 split. But you can also recline the back seats in the Outback, which is a really nice feature to have. So at 5'11", sitting behind myself, I have a bunch of room. I have a double mat pocket and some pamphlets. I have ventilation and some plugins, but no heated seats on this trim level. And then I have some cup holders in the center of the armrest. I just wish that was rotated because you can't have your arm and your cup in the same spot. Otherwise, it's a really nice place to be in the back of this Onyx. But let's hop out and I'll show you the hatch. The back of the Outback is actually pretty cool. You actually have a secret pin code under here, and I have a video to show you how to set it so you can get into your Outback or any of your other Subarus with the pin code without having the key on you. Otherwise, there's 4 ways to open the hatch. You can push the button that's on the dashboard. You can push the button that's underneath the Subaru emblem. You can climb through the back seats, or you can use the remote for the power liftgate like I'm gonna do. Back here you have roughly 33 total cubic feet of room behind the second row, but if you drop the seats you have about 75, so you can car camp, you can sleep back here, you can haul a lot of stuff because it's over 6.5 feet long with the seats pushed all the way forward. You have the Harman Kardon speaker, some bag clips, some handles to drop the seats. You have your sunshade, which can be hidden underneath by the spare tire. You have all of your unopened all-weather mats and the factory cloth mats. You have a 12-volt and some extra storage behind the rear passenger fender. Anyways, we can easily drop it, or we could drop it and lock it. The rear passenger side has no surprises. It's all the same design language and theme. Double mat pockets, some pamphlets, and then this is the 60 split for the back seats. And if you're gonna ride shotgun, the door panel looks really good. It's basically identical to the driver's side, minus some of the extra controls that they don't want the passenger to have access to. You still have the medium-sized Subaru on the door sill, a little bit of grip, but a non-powered seat. It's StarTech. Our backpack's comfortable, and it's an extremely safe vehicle, so we know it's gonna be well taken care of. Storage, locking storage, and a 12-volt in the back. But I know you guys want to see under the hood, so let's come around to the front and I'll pop the hood for you. Under the hood is the mighty 2.5 liter boxer engine. Makes a whopping 182 horsepower at 5,800 RPM and a massive 176 pound-feet of the twisty torque, 4,400 RPM. So it's definitely down on power, especially down low compared to the Turbo XT models of the Outback. But honestly, it's a pretty good power plant, and you're going to see pretty soon. It's still adequately powerful, even in altitude, even in 100-degree temperatures like we have today. But Subaru's done a really good job designing this. Air goes through the grille, through the filter in the box, through the baffling and the piping, through the throttle body to the upper intake manifold runners. You have your alternator, your serpentine belt, your oil dipstick, oil fill and filter, the rest of your reservoirs, and your battery, so everything's easy to get to. Most maintenance items are a breeze on this platform, minus changing the spark plugs, which thankfully you're not gonna have to do for a long time. Let's drop the hood. Time for one of my favorite parts. I get to time travel and teleport you to one of my favorite roads to show you how it drives. Initial driving impressions of the Outback Onyx is that it's really good. It handles basically the exact same as all the other Outbacks in my opinion. Visibility is really good. All the safety features that this has does a really good job to keep you and your family safe. Almost 9 inches of ground clearance, it weighs about 4,000 pounds, and it's 16 feet long. So it's not a small vehicle by any means, but it's not nearly as big as a full-size 19 or 20-foot truck. It handles the road well, and doing a full circle in well under 40 feet means it feels pretty agile. If you have to throw the wheel in a haste, it definitely feels disconnected from the front of the rear wheels. You can hear the rear was sliding around just a little bit. But overall, it's really nice, really comfortable. We don't have a lot of wind today. So the road and wind noise with these Yokohamas is not bad at all. And having the Harman Kardon speakers is fantastic. Although I do wish that was an option and not standard, because I don't think everyone wants to spend 36, 37 grand on a regular Onyx just to get StarTech seats. And to have a more off-road version, I think that should be a choice. What are your thoughts though with that? Comment below. Otherwise, the seats are comfortable. The StarTech is really good, but it doesn't breathe as well as cloth seats do. Maybe if they were ventilated, but if they were, they probably wouldn't be water repellent the way that these ones are. Overall, this is a really capable vehicle, a really good one. It doesn't pull nearly as well as the Turbo, but that naturally aspirated engine has proven it's reliable and made it to the 8-speed simulated gear CVT. It seems to do a really good job. Getting almost 600 miles of range on a tank of gas going down country roads like this, that's honestly really impressive for such a practical vehicle. But I'm sure you guys are interested in seeing how quick the naturally aspirated one is and what the difference is between this and the Turbo Onyx XT I drove the other day. So let's jump to the private road and do that test. And True 0 to 60, as you can see here, came in at 9.77 seconds. Basically 2.5 seconds slower than the Turbo model I did of the Onyx XT just the other day. Keep in mind though, density altitude 6,300 feet, so this vehicle is down on power 18 to 21%. Here's our final thoughts. Final thoughts of the 2024 Subaru Outback Onyx is I think it's a really good deal. At about $37,000, it's roughly $12,000 less than the average new car, and the base Onyx is about $4,000 less than the Turbo equivalent. So it's up to you to decide if the extra power is worth it. As I mentioned, it's a couple seconds faster 0 to 60, and that translates to a lot of fun. But even the base Onyx is full of fun, full of adventure. That's why people buy Subarus, because they're capable, they're practical, they can basically take you anywhere. And even in a bare bones Onyx like this, you have heated seats, you have a heated wheel, you have Harman Kardon speakers to enjoy some good premium sound quality. LED headlights, all the safety features that these include to make them a top safety pick. The Subaru Outback really offers a lot, and there's really no surprise why almost 200,000 of these are sold in the best of model years in North America. But what are your thoughts? What are your comments? Have you owned one of these? Are you considering it? What's the competition that you're comparing it to? I want to know all of that stuff. If you like my video, please consider liking my video. Your act of kindness really goes a long way in helping my channel to grow. If you're interested in this one or any of the other Subarus, I'll link the dealership below. They're really good people to work with. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.